Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about the new M4 Max MacBook Pro and why I as a video editor have decided not to upgrade. Now don't get me wrong, the M4 Max is a beast of a machine. It's faster, more powerful, and Apple has made some nice improvements. But here's the thing, when it comes to the video editing, the difference between my current M1 Max MacBook Pro and the M4 Max just don't feel significant enough to justify the upgrade. That said, if you are someone who has already bought the new M4 Max MacBook Pro, stick around. I'll also talk about where this machine shines and where it's better all-rounder for a lot of creative workflows, and yeah, we will discuss that later down the video. And lastly, just before we jump in, let me set the stage. I am a Canon user, editing 4K 10-bit 422 footage for my YouTube videos and my client projects. My M1 Max has been my workhorse since 2021, and so far it has handled every project I have edited on it using Final Cut Pro. Also, I want to make it clear that I have done my homework. I have watched hours of reviews from some of the best creators on YouTube, have read tons of articles, and I've carefully analyzed the benchmark results and the real world tests. So what I'm sharing today with you guys is just my opinion. It's based on a solid research and data from across the creator and tech community. So let's start with what matters for video editors. For me, two things stands out: timeline performance and export times. When it comes to the timeline performance, my M1 Max MacBook Pro still handles everything I throw at it with ease. I regularly edit 4K 10-bit footage from my Canon R5C for 20 to 30 minutes long YouTube videos, complete with LUTs, color grading, titles, transitions, you name it. It's buttery smooth, no drop frames and no stutters. Scrubbing through the timeline in Final Cut Pro feels very nice. It's kind of a seamless experience. Export times, well, this is where M4 Max does pull ahead. In tests conducted by other creators, a 5 minutes 4K H.265 project exported in 2 minutes and 27 seconds on the M4 Max MacBook Pro, compared to the 4 minutes and 4 seconds on the M1 Max MacBook Pro. That's about 37% improvements on the new M4 MacBook Pro, and we are talking about the 16-inch models here only. But let me ask you, does saving 90 seconds on an export really changes your workflow? For me, it doesn't really. I usually grab a cup of coffee or plan my next project while an export runs, and even for the longer 20-minute projects, the difference is only few minutes. Unless I think you are working on huge projects every day, those extra seconds saved just aren't enough to justify dropping $3.5 grand on the new MacBook Pro. Now let's talk about what didn't change with the M4 Max MacBook Pros: the design. This is the same chassis Apple introduced with the M1 Pro and Max models back in 2021. Don't get me wrong, it's still a great design, but after 3 years, I was hoping for something new. And here's the key: the M4 Max is not more power efficient. Under the full load, the M4 Max draws about 50% more power than M1 Max. That's a big jump. And because the Apple hasn't increased the battery capacity, and they cannot do that because a battery on 16-inch MacBook Pro is already at the borderline of the legal air travel limits. Both M1 Max and the M4 Max have the same 99.6 watt-hour battery. You're not going to see a longer battery life on the new model. In fact, during heavy workloads, the M4 Max will drain faster compared to the M1 Max. Now, this also ties into the cooling, where the M4 Max generates more heat as it's more powerful. Multiple reviewers have noted that it runs louder under the load when you are pushing both the CPU and the GPU at the same time. The fans kick in hard That's something to consider if you are working in a quiet studio setting where fan noise can be distracting. The truth is Apple's current cooling solution is starting to feel a little outdated. That's one of the reasons I'm holding off for the next generation of MacBook Pros, which is rumored to bring some much needed changes. Now here's where the things get exciting. There's been rumors that the next generation of MacBook Pros, likely coming in 2025, will bring some big changes, and I'm talking about the major design changes. So let's break it down. The first one is, as you all know, Tandem OLED display. If you have seen the latest iPad Pro, you know what I'm talking about. Tandem OLED displays offers a better brightness, a better color accuracy, and better energy efficiency compared to the current mini LED displays used in MacBook Pros. For the video editors like us, this could be a really game changer for HDR work and the color grading. Now the second rumor is that Apple is working on improved cooling system. With these chips generating more heat as they're becoming more powerful, Apple is reportedly redesigning the cooling system for the next model. This means the quieter fans, better thermal performance, and less throttling during the heavy workloads. The third rumor is for the higher refresh rate ProMotion displays. There's also a talk that the ProMotion display might go beyond 120 Hz. While this sounds like a gaming feature, it's actually great for video editing too. Smoother scrubbing, I'm not going to say sharper playback unless they increase the resolution, but I think it's nice to have. And as Apple is pushing more towards GPUs as well, so yeah, it's nice to have a higher refresh rate, and you can do like every now and then some gaming as well. And lastly, we all know that when the major redesign will come, there will be a new chassis, which means that it could be thinner bezels, a lighter body, and potentially even more ports. Combine that with a rumored display and cooling improvements, and you got a machine that feels really like true next-gen upgrade. So for me, waiting for the redesign just makes more sense. Now let's give credit where credit is due. The M4 Max MacBook Pro is an amazing all-rounder. While the improvements in video editing may not feel massive, the machine is beast for other tasks. For example, if you are into 3D rendering or workflow with tools like Blender or Unreal Engine, the M4 Max is a huge step up. The faster GPU and improved memory bandwidth makes a big difference in those workflows. And for gaming, the M4 Max finally makes a MacBook Pro a real contender. For the games which are supported on Mac OS, the performance on this M4 MacBook Pro is really very close to RTX 4080 and 4090. So I think it's a great portable machine. And remember that in this MacBook Pro, you can play games while on a battery. You get the same performance, but on the Windows PC, even if you're getting the similar or bit better performance, you have to plug those laptops in. You cannot play those games in a higher frame rate while on a battery. I think it's really phenomenal that you can play the top tier games, AAA games on this laptop on a battery power. And in my opinion, I think it's a big achievement by Apple. So it's not just the GPU power. I think it's a memory bandwidth and ability to handle demanding titles smoothly. So while the M4 Max might not blow away the M1 Max for video editing, it's definitely a better all-rounder for variety of creative and performance-intensive tasks. At the end of the day, the decision to upgrade really depends on your workflow. If you have already bought M4 Max, congratulations. You've got one of the most powerful laptops on the planet, and it's a future-proof for years to come. I think for another 4 or 5 years, this laptop is not going anywhere. It still be as useful as it is today. But if you are like me and you are sticking with M1 Max or M2 Max MacBook Pro, that's okay too. These machines are still incredibly capable, and with the next MacBook Pro rumored to bring major design changes, better cooling, and Tandem OLED displays, waiting might be the smarter move. Now I want to hear from you. What MacBook Pro are you using right now? Are you thinking thinking about upgrading to M4 Max, or are you holding off for the redesign like I am? Let me know in the comments. I do love to hear your thoughts and experiences. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I've got more content coming your way soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.